Hey, this is Mystic Miyamoksha, and this is another Pick a Card Spirit Message reading. And this particular Spirit Message reading is based on the last reading I did, the energy update reading for lightworkers. And I'll link that reading here. And you don't have to watch that reading to have messages from this reading resonate. It's just like, it was so detailed and very highly spiritual, and there were so many important messages that came out in that reading that I figured I'd break it down for light workers or way showers, starseeds, just any awakened person that's watching this reading now or in the future that wanted like more specific messages at any given point in time. This is timeless. And yeah, there's 5 piles. There's pile number 1 that has the Diopside. Pile number 2 has the Pyrite. Pile number 3 has the Septarian or the Dragon's Egg. Pile number 4 that has the red Calcite. And pile number 5 that has the blue Argonite. So yeah, what I basically did is I took all the cards from that reading and I kind of made it into a big pile, and then I just kind of pulled cards from that pile, and there's so many different cards of different sizes. It's kind of difficult to do. But yeah, I just pulled card from that reading and used other decks that I didn't have that reading to pull messages out. Yeah, and so I mean, if you're already watching this reading, like you're already on a high vibrational divine destiny path. These readings I did for myself, but now I'm recognizing, like, with the amount of powerful spiritual messages that are in these couple of readings, that this is for my comrades. Like, this is for the future light workers. Something way bigger than myself. I'm just a channeler here. I'm just a messenger. So, I mean, this is the work of the divine, and I'm truly grateful to be able to do this work and post this. All right. With that, we'll get started. Pile number 1, much love and light. Hey, pile number 1. This is the Diopside. Let's see what Spirit's message for you right now is. Just wants to come out. Okay. So what are some of the messages for you specifically? Investments, 6 of Pentacles. You've mastered the flow of give and receive, achieving balance and generosity and receptivity. Embrace this inner harmony as it manifests into your physical reality, as do reciprocity. I have such a hard time with that word. Reciprocity. Oh my goodness. Okay. So right off the bat, you might have had a hard time with give and take. It might have been very unbalanced in your life. You might have been giving too much and not receiving much back, especially if you resonate with this kind of light work message or way shower, kind of spiritual leader. You might have had a lot of times in your life where you noticed you were giving too much to others and not really receiving much back, not looking to receive much back, wanting to help others, wanting to be of service to others, service to humanity, service to Mother Gaia, service to the light. But at some point, you had to give some back to yourself in order to keep giving to others, or, allow yourself to grow so you can give even more to others. And this investment from the previous reading was about how you'll be investing in a lot of different groups of people. one, you'll be investing a lot in the group that you're assigned to help as a light worker. And in the upcoming call for light workers in the world, in the near future, in the next year or 2 or 5, light workers are going to be called up and be spiritual leaders and help humanity move forward. And so you're going to be helping the group of people they're assigned. You're also going to be helping friends and family that you grew up alongside in this lifetime. And you're also going to be investing in your soul family. That is going to be very, very vital during this time. You're helping a lot of people to be your support system and be like your family. Not be like your family, they are going to be your family, the soul family. So it's like 3 different types of like family or groups, people that you're going to be very close to, that you're going to be investing in. And so Spirit is saying this has been somewhat of a challenge for you in the past. You might have worked on it in cycles with different friends and family members and co-workers, whatever, neighbors, roommates, bosses, teammates on in a sport or in games, or in a lot of different ways. This might have been a reoccurring lesson that came up for you to see, are you going to give in a balanced way? Are you going to be able to take in a balanced way? And the most powerful message that came out from the 6 of Pentacles in the reading was that you're going to see your efforts returned. Like, although you're going to be doing a lot helping these 3 groups of people mainly, but other people as well, you're going to feel very, like, you're going to get a return on your investment. You're going to feel very fulfilled emotionally. I think the 10 of Cups came up with this. Yeah, wow. The Ace of Pentacles and the High Priestess. You're given an opportunity where you no longer have to be the only one that's doing something right. You're given an opportunity to kind of use the skills that you've garnered during your whole lifetime. This is your soul mission. And this time, like, when you invest, like, you're going to see your efforts returned right away. You're also going to see the investments you made in your past and yourself in different things in your life also returned during this time. So it's a very loving, important way for the divine to show you everything had a reason in your life. All the efforts that you put in, even behind the scenes, all the investments you put in projects and yourself and to be a better person and to help others, you're going to see returned in this lifetime during this changeover period. Wow, Ace of Cups. Wow, and the 8 of Wands. Yeah, I do see your cup is being filled, like, to the brim and then overflowing. I think this is what the divine is giving back to you. This is what your investments are giving back to you. You're going to see return on your investments, especially emotionally. You're going to be very fulfilled. And I don't know what it's like to be given returns on, like, creative pursuits and emotional pursuits in this way, like, on this magnitude. Your intuitive pursuits, your spiritual pursuits. So your emotional, spiritual, and creative pursuits, and health pursuits, all these pursuits, more like feminine, more water-based pursuits in your life, are going to be returned to you like tenfold, almost over 100%. I'm getting. So I can't even like verbalize what that looks like. I can't even picture it, what that's going to look like. And Eight of Wands, very, very quickly, with a lot of communication, with a lot of people, a lot of a network of people coming in to fulfill you so emotionally, so spiritually, so creatively, so divinely. It's going to feel like you're in heaven. You know how they describe heaven as just like always feeling like an abundance of love, just being super happy in a blissful energy. Like it's going to be like that, heaven on earth. Like you're going to be that emotionally, spiritually, creatively, intuitively, like fulfilled. Like I don't even know what that could feel like or look like. And very quickly, like it just, that's why it's probably a little overwhelming to have all your investments. Like just try to think of like all the things that you've invested in this lifetime alone, not including other lifetimes or on the other side. Okay, so we have the Queen, no, this is the Knight of Swords. Reversed. Down. On top of the Eight of Wands. Yeah. I feel like you're not allowed to say anything. Like you're not given a chance to say anything. Like I feel like you want to, in a very shy and honest to goodness way, like just be like, oh no, I don't need any of this, or it's okay. In a way, it's a little bit emotionally immature to be like, no, thank you, that's too kind of you, like no, that's fine, like oh, that's too much, that's too kind, like that's too much help, like that's too generous, like no, you keep that, or no, like that's way too over generous the way you described me, or the things that you're doing. Like I feel like you're in such that kind of energy, like even though you're so emotionally mature, like it's a very slightly emotionally immature thing to be like, no, like it's okay, like being too overly kind and like trying to deny and be like, oh, I don't need your help, or I don't need this like this money or these compliments or something like that. Like you're not allowed to speak. I'm getting like, I feel like God is saying like, shut up and just take it. This abundance of like, emotional well-being and love and kindness and appreciation, respect, acknowledgement for your creative problem solving, your creative genius, your kindness, how well spoken you are, if you write or if you make music or your art or design of some sort, or and what's the other one, and how your pursuit of the divine path, being more connected to God, being more connected to your soul and your spirit, helped everyone else at this time whenever this changeover happens. Like it's because of your selflessness and your hard work and efforts to pursue something like this when everyone thought it was maybe weird or unnecessary or not important, is the reason that humanity has such a great leader in you, and could help when it was needed, and so that you deserve all these things in abundance that's coming to you, and happens like so overwhelmingly quick. A lot of, I'm getting accolades and awards and recognition and rewards. Okay. I'm setting boundaries for a healthier future, and please forgive me. So I'm getting is this says you are wow, Ace of Pentacles again. Yeah, so you're given a lot of opportunities and offers. I think you're being overwhelmed. Like, I think at a point it's like, oh, well, you have to come to dinner at my place. Well, you have to come to dinner at my place, or you have to give a lecture here, or you have to come visit this community. Like, oh, you have to go to this festival in your honor, or you have to go accept this, reward on our behalf, or you have to come to this party we're throwing for you, or you have to, see the people that you've helped, or you have to I'm going to bigger case scenarios, but it could be smaller versions of these things. You have to talk to these people that that admire you or want you to sit in on a class or come in for recognition or this and that. It's too overwhelming at some point, and you feel like you are not allowed to say no. And so in the beginning it's cool, but then then you realize that you have to set boundaries for yourself if you want a healthy future for yourself. It's are you being you feel kind of are you selfish for turning people down who just want to recognize you and award you and celebrate you, and it comes to a point where it's want your expertise or want you to grace them with your talents or your skills. It's this is what you've always struggled with, right? Give and take. And as much as the divine is saying shut up and take it, you in the beginning that's kind of your lesson to kind of be able to receive as much as you give him, but then you kind of learn that you have to you have so many opportunities. Maybe you've never been in this kind of position, I'm guessing, maybe in little bouts, but where you're given you have so many opportunities and so many options and so many people pulling you in different directions, all good, that it's kind of okay, it's cool in the beginning, but then you have to learn to set up your boundaries and be okay, obviously I can't entertain all these options and offers and opportunities and people at the same time, all at once, or all of them in general. So, I'm going to set my boundaries, and hopefully the people can understand, or the organizations or groups or whatever, that it's only one you and you're gonna do the best you can, but you're out of life to live it as well. Okay, wrap this up with one oracle message. Spiritual ignorance. Okay. Spiritual ignorance. You'll have to understand that a lot of these people who are trying to pull you in these different directions and what your intention, they don't understand how energy works. And so for them, giving you so much energy and attention, it can be overwhelming. You might have not signed up for fame. You might have not signed up for helping out such a vast number of people. Maybe it's overwhelming. Maybe you're someone who needs to work in groups, smaller groups, over longer period of time, or to do one big group once in a great while. or a more one-on-one kind of person. Maybe you need more time to yourself. Maybe you need more space, months, weeks to yourself. Or someone that likes to work regularly, but like when it hits 4 o'clock, you're not working anymore. That's the rule. It's family time or you time or whatever. And so you'll have to remember that some of these people, they're not at your spiritual level yet. They haven't done the inner work, the spiritual work that you have. So you'll have to forgive them for not understanding what it means to put too much attention on someone. It's kind of like when, like back in the day, around like caveman days, there'd be like a leader of the pack, and a lot of the other people in the family unit would give all their like hopes and prayers and wishes, well wishes to the leader to fight off like a, I don't know, or saber-tooth or something, an animal that was endangering the rest of the clan, you know? And that's a real thing. That's putting energy on that person. And sometimes not everyone is designed to carry that much energy all the time. And that is like kind of disrespectful to someone who doesn't want that kind of energy to be putting it on them when they can't handle it, don't want it at that time, or don't want it always. So this is something that you have to remember, that if it's too much, it's because you're not meant to have that much energy hoisted on you without your permission. And you got to figure out how much energy you would like to hold for people and for yourself, and you know, when do you need a break, and how much you want to do. You know, that's basically it, how much you want to do. I'll pull one more clarifier. Yeah, 5 of Wands. That's the one conflict here is is figuring that out. It's not even a bad challenge, and it's not like a huge conflict. You're not in violent disagreements with anyone. This is just something that issue that kind of rises up from a lot of well-wishers and good fortune and fame, and something you just need to be aware of to figure out. But besides that, this is a very great situation. I mean, this is a beautiful situation, overabundance of opportunities and offers, and you know, you're just gonna have to figure out how do you want to move forward, what works for you. You know, it may take a little bit to figure it out. You know, I'll test some things. All right, I hope you enjoyed that reading. Much love and light. I found number 2. This is the Pyrite. Okay, let's see what spirit message is for you right now. Okay. Very difficult. Shovel. Okay. I'll take this pile here. I'll keep on upright. Okay, I mean, facing up. Okay, the Star card. Okay, so this was a very specific message about your spirit guides that have been kind of watching over you for your entire life. This could be like ETs, could be actually high vibrational beings that have been watching over you. And they're benevolent. They are for the highest best good of humanity. They're good, energetic beings, beings from other realms, or ETs, or your spirit guides, whatever this energy is. Yeah, they want what's best for humanity, but they also been a very parental figure to you, in terms of like looking after you and genuinely caring for your well-being, and kind of waiting for you to be ready for them for the two of you to meet with you being more aware of it, you have met them at least a couple of times in your dream state or in like a meditative state or some other kind of state, but like, or even like through apparitions, and you're aware of it, you were given the memories of meeting them, but you might not like have met them of your own volition. Like, hey, I want to meet you, and then just pop up. Like, it's always on their schedule because they're waiting for you to be ready enough to handle that. So that was a very specific message. And the reason that they've been like kind of watching over you is because they've been kind of coaching you, making sure everything happens along your divine path, because you have a very important destiny in this lifetime, and so that's why they've been kind of watching over you. Yeah. And at first I thought that like it could be just your spirit guides, but then I got like that it might be actually like physical beings from a physical place, which, you know, I don't know if I'm too sure I believe in so much in the way that I used to in the past, but I do believe it more after that last reading that I did, which is crazy. Okay, the Tower card in reverse. Wow. Yeah, something is happening imminently in your environment or in the environment of your neighborhood, your country, or the world. And so this energy starts kind of like now, and it goes until like the next year, where you're in the process of being ready enough to be brought to these people who have been looking over you your whole life. Okay. Got the Fool card, the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, so this is a new beginning, a new chapter of your life, where you will be working with at least one, if not more, people. And it could be your partner, so your romantic partner, whether you're coupled up already or not. Or it could be a business partner or a couple of friends or a couple of family members, whatever it is. It's like I'm getting one or two people or a small group, maybe 4 or 5. But like for most people I see just like you and your partner, or you and a couple of really reliable people that also have done as much inner work and as aware as you. Let's see. King of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, and the Fool card in reverse. Okay. This was a message about a potentially having like a spouse or romantic partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, or romantic interest be very involved in what you do in this new chapter of your life, and both of you kind of wanting to walk through a door, and been waiting to kind of walk through this door, but it was like not available yet. Like the opportunity to walk through that door wasn't available yet, even though you're basically at the door. It's like you're waiting for the divine to give you the key to walk through finally. Like you've already made the treacherous journey to this door, and you're finally here, and now you're just waiting, you know, sitting on the stairs on a stoop in the front of the door, like, okay, John, I made it to this door. When are you giving me the key to walk through to my new life? And And I got that it wasn't just like you, like also your partner or your partners or, you know, whoever you're going to be working with a lot in this new chapter are also at that door, you know, waiting to start the journey with more soul family on the other side. You guys are all at your individual doors waiting to finally come together. Okay, so I just got this image of like, even if you physically already know who this person or people are that you're going to be working with very closely on the next leg of your journey, in a completely different way. This is like a new life that like you cannot even, I can't even imagine, I can't even visualize for you what this new chapter of your life is going to be, because it's such a vast different reality from what you're living now, what we're all living now, that they can only be experienced, right? And so it's kind of like there's a knowing for you and this person or people that what's on the other side of this door is going to not be a new chapter. It's going to be a whole new book. It's going to be a whole new form of receiving information besides the book, you know? It's going to be so that vastly different of a life, of a new, you know, luggage journey that like I can't even describe it. That's why I'm getting this picture of like you and your partner or your group of people energetically, like your higher selves waiting at this door, waiting to come together on the other side. So even if you physically know this person or people or don't yet, like your higher selves are kind of at this energetic threshold waiting to cross over and join forces with this other person or other people. Because that's how strongly you're involved with each other's soul mission and life after this. And so you guys have already done the things that you need to do to get to this door. And so let's see what Spirit has to say about that. What are you waiting for? You know, where's the key? When can you walk through? Okay, 7 of Swords. You have all the information. Yeah, I'm getting like you have all the information. You got all the skills. You got all the information. You got all the wisdom. Like, you know, you're at this door now. Like, there's nothing more for you to do except to receive the key, to receive the opportunity to walk through now. So you're just kind of like waiting at the porch, like, hey, like, I guess I'll just wait till my spirit guides come through and give me the key because I've done everything I need to do. I'm getting maybe you need to wait for your partner or another member of this group to get to the door and it'll all open together. Let me see what the verdict is on that from Spirit. Wow, the 4 of Wands. Nope. You guys are at the door. All parties involved are at the door. For most people, it's going to be 2, like you and your partner. So I'm just going to go stick with that, because otherwise I'm going to be saying like you and your partner or your group. I want to say too many words throughout this whole reading. So I'm just going to say you and them. Just say myself from saying so many things. Okay. So nope, they're at the door with you. You're both at the door waiting for the divine. Just let you cross through. What's going to help you cross through? What's necessary here? Why aren't you already crossing through? I'll bring you the stars. Okay, so Spirit's like, I'm bringing it to you. I'm bringing it to you. Okay, heard loud and clear, Spirit, but why isn't it like when, where, when, how, like when are you gonna bring it? How are light workers gonna know? Like what's the hold up here? What's the hold up here? 5 of Swords, and it kind of flipped over on my hand, on my deck while I was shuffling. There's a conflict. A really nasty conflict. And if something like flips over in my hand, it's usually like something close to your heart, something personal. So on an individual level, it might be yours or your partner's, but if it's either yours or your partner's, it's technically both of your issues, whether you know your partner or not already. What is this conflict? What is this issue? Okay, 7 of Cups, and it fell on my lap. Options, so overwhelming, it's numbing. Okay, well, what can one do about that? How do resolve that? You found me when no one else could see me. So I'm getting... Oh, there's one more deck I haven't used. Oh my god, I'm gonna grab it. I'm getting you or your partner or both have recently or will soon kind of have this like kind of soul recognition in each other. And whether you've been together for a very long time or a short time or haven't even met yet, this like soul recognition is so overwhelming. Like you see this guy here just like on this zombie like, and like, oh my gosh, the possibilities are limitless and endless. It's very overwhelming. It's like the veil is thinning for the two of you, where your hearts are being more synced up, your energies are being more synced up, not just between each other, but with your higher calling, because you guys are light workers and therefore have this like third energy that's even bigger than your already gigantic energies that you both hold individually. So it's quite overwhelming, and these are the kind of things that kind of bring up very, very like the deepest and darkest and the hardest inner work, right? Usually. So that's why I'm getting like the 5 of Wands. I'm sorry, 5 of Swords is about. I said Wands. I had a tarot card reader tell me once, like, the 5 of Swords, like the 5 of Wands, at least they're not fighting with swords. They're fighting with sticks, so they can't really hurt each other. But with swords, there's a possibility of having a fatal injury, right? But I said wands instead of swords. So I'm getting from Spirit, like, don't worry. No one will die from this inner work that comes up, or this overwhelming energy, combining of energies. Although it'll feel like that. Oh no. Although it will feel like that. Okay, so what is going on here? Wow, Ace of Wands. So I'm getting the key. With the one being in red, like I'm getting like the key coming in now. I just dream and wish for everything. I'll bring you the stars. Yeah, with the I just wish and dream for everything, it's like, okay, like all right, I got it. The issue here is the possibilities are endless. And you know how when like you quit a job, or when you start off the spiritual journey and you're like, I can do anything, I can go into whatever I want, and it kind of like paralyzes you with the amount of options, because you can literally go after any path, follow any of your passions, to any of your interests, to the ends of the earth, and it cripples you because it's like, oh, maybe there's so many things that you want to do, so many interests that you have, or so many options of what you can go into. That you don't know what to do. I know I felt like that before I got into tarot. I'm like, oh my goodness, there's endless possibilities of what I can do. And it like crippled me, with anxiety, with so many options. And that's what I'm getting. I dream and wish for everything. It's kind of like, let me get a confirmation for sure, but I'm getting, does this partnership have a specific destiny, or is it like, oh, I got that, like, you're co-creating your destiny with your higher guidance. Oh my God, I just got that both of your higher guidance are coming together. They're opening that door for you to communicate to both of your guides together. What is going on? 8 of Pentacles. Yeah. So I'm getting from Spirit that like your parental guides, spirit guides, have been kind of watering some sort of destiny for you. Like I'm getting several paths that you could possibly take, but they kind of want your input, both of your inputs on it too. So they have something in plan. They have, several paths that would work for the two of you, or they think that you two would like. But they also want your input. Okay, so what's the solution here? What's the solution here, Spirit? Fierce love, Kali. Fierce love. I'm getting it's going to be very, like, destructive in a good way. Kind of like, I don't know, like if you had just like an incredible animalistic love-making session and the whole room is like ripped apart. I'm getting something like that. But in terms of your brainstorming session with this person, I'm feeling and hearing a lot of energy coming in right now. It's surprising that it's been like, I don't know, a few days now that's been going strong. Since October 31st, November 1st, today is November 2nd. The energy's still going strong. Anyway, that's why I wanted to do the reading today. Yeah, fierce love. Like very, very strongly attacking. Your possible path forward, destiny, soul mission. So how do the couples receive this so many swords here? 7, 5, 3. What am I missing? 9. 7, 5, 3. Okay, some sort of. So swords are like kind of can be also like ideas or paths, plans. So like the fact that they're decreasing in number and in odd numbers, and with Kali coming up, which is like a divine feminine energy, and odd numbers are feminine energy. Swords, ideas. Okay, and then coming down to the King of Cups. You guys are very emotionally, emotionally narrowing down your plans forward. How? Ace of Cups. The Eight of Cups. Oh, I never really noticed that before. There's a man on a horse here looking at the fountain of this naked woman. Under the stars, and here again, we're under the stars. Darkness. But the sun is out. Oh my god, sun and moon. All right. Walking away from certain emotional opportunities. What are some of these emotional opportunities? So many cards. Okay. I'll take them. Okay, the Hermit. Again, the moon and the stars. Five of Pentacles. Six of Cups. A Strength card. Okay, there is a possibility that something from the past or some sort of emotional challenge comes up. This could be like another possible soulmate or another possible group member that wants to join in and you have to say no. Maybe leaving your home, leaving the location of where you are, or leaving your hometown, or leaving something that gave you that gives you an emotional opportunity. It could be a family member, past friend coming back, and you're just kind of like, I have to put away some relationships in order to grow new ones, and it takes a lot of strength. So could be other potential romantic interests, could be other potential soulmates that want to collaborate with you. There could be other past friends, past people you had close relationships with, family relationships, relationships to homes or locations or even jobs, things that you had an emotional opportunity for, something that you really love or did love and have the opportunity for again, or a new love, and you're saying no. This is like helping both of you kind of narrow down the path, and they may not seem related, but you making time for this relationship or these relationships at this time, whether they're new or old, they're going to feel new because you guys have awakened and seen each other so much deeper since the veil between the two of you has thinned, and you guys are connecting on an energetic level, like on a level that people don't normally experience. This is a special time in humanity, right? Where people are connecting on an energetic level that people haven't seen really, before. It has happened before. It's just like, it's not normal. It's very, very rare, but it's happening it's happening more often because there are more light workers on the earth now. There's more people awakened now, right? Spiritually, remembering who they are, remembering the truth of human history and the power of your soul and spirit. Yeah. So what do these swords represent? What do these swords represent? That's very clear. I'm struggling to share my heart. Yeah. So I'm getting that it's like, it could be people, but it's just kind of like people, places, and things that you spend a lot of energy on, that you have a special relationship with, whether it's a hobby, whether it's a home or a location or a job or people. I think for most people, most of these swords represents people, mostly, or relationships. It's like putting your whole heart and soul into your soul mission, into this person or people. And oh my goodness, yeah, I get that. You know, really committing to this person or the soul mission, or both. Technically it's both. You know, you're pursuing the soul mission is this third energy of you two, right? So it's a really, really committing that, hey, we're gonna do this and let's do it right. And so what's the outcome? What's the outcome here? Go from 7 to 5 to 3 of Swords to 10 of Wands in reverse. The outcome here is the 10 of Wands. For me, that's I left a few cards on the side when I went to go pick up this deck, and I went to go look at the bottom of the deck, and it's the 6 of Wands. I'm getting leaving. And I think a lot of you will leave physically in order to strengthen this relationship and the weird things that are happening, because you guys are connecting on an energetic level like that is unheard of, to kind of just like work through that, and to also bring in the energy of your connected soul mission. Yeah, the Sun card. Wow. It did come up in that reading that you may move to a location where it seems more simple on the surface. Like superficially, it might seem like more simple lifestyle or whatever, but there's going to be so many like advanced things happening underneath the surface, quite literally, like under, like not just energetically and with your bodies changing energetically, and both of you evolving psychically and also physically, mentally, emotionally, in all the ways, advancing in a very rapid rate and with each other and each other's help. But you're also bringing in your soul mission, which is going to be working with your spirit guides and your spirit team, but also other high vibrational, benevolent beings. However that will translate into this reality. Get back to nature, I'm getting. But I'm getting this so much like advancement and even like nature. What is that? What does that even mean? Fear of death. With the Sun card though, because that's what I was trying to. I got this in the reading. It was kind of like this kind of like, I'm like, oh yeah, you go back and forth from this realm to the other realm so many times, and it kind of wears on the body. And I was like, it's not death, it's like going into the energetic realm. And I'm like, is that death? Like after the reading, I'm like, was that death? Is that going back and forth from leaving the body or death, or is this like astral projection, or what is this? What is this? 10 of Cups. Yeah, it's bliss. Like there's no fear of, like you ascend the fear of death, because I think what happens, like going to this energetic realm back and forth so many times, like you lose your fear of death. Because with the Sun card and a 10 of Cups and this like beautiful like heavenly, like the Ace of Cups is like in such a heavenly skies. That's like pure bliss, right? Like beyond anything in the physical. Like it's beyond just the two of you. It's this like heavenly bliss. Like you merge into the energies. Like the couple is not even here. It's like they're merged into the energies. Like going back and forth, I got like from energetically. That's what you get for leaving. This is the same Ace of Cups. These other possible paths, like releasing attachment from everything, including death. And because you're going so back and forth from the energetic realm or these other realms or whatever this is, you kind of lose your fear of death because, like, okay, well, I see what the other side is like, or I see what, you know, reality really is, or something like that. Yeah, and so living in a more simple area or a simple way of life might ease everything while you guys, you know, go through all these, like, all these things happening. Oh my goodness, okay. So I've been doing readings like this for, like, a while now, so this kind of makes sense. But it's always kind of like, is this really going to happen? So far, all the readings have been coming true, so see. I hope you enjoyed that reading. Much love and light. Hey, pile number 3. This is the Septarian or Dragon's Egg. Okay. Let's see what spirit message for you right now is. Okay. Start over. So many cards. Okay. It's plenty. Okay, kind of came out last. Okay, so the Two of Wands was talking about walking through a door, and I talked more about it, that specific part, in pile number 2. So if you want to know about more what this door represents, I would look over there. But kind of like you're crossing over this threshold where your life is going to be completely different. A cycle was about how you might have had a lot of cycles on giving and receiving, giving a lot of your energy and not receiving that much energy back, and how that was going to close out with one more cycle, one more opportunity to see if you take the opportunity to give to yourself at this time for good reason. So if you can help yourself more, then you can help other people even more. You just need to give yourself time to level up. And sometimes it seems selfish or like, why are you doing this? And as a light worker, when you're continuously doing this, other people might not get it. You might not even get it, but it's because you're leveling up to levels that other people around you can't even understand, let alone reach, you know? Yeah. At least not in this particular lifetime. Okay, meditation brings answers. That was related to something. I'll think of it when I get it. The Star card in reverse. Let's see. People you are responsible for. Knight of Pentacles. Justice card. Today. And the Nine of Swords. Okay. Okay, so some of these cards came out together. Meditation brings answers today, the Star card, and these two cards came out in reverse. So this was referring to when will this all happen. And it's like, oh, it starts today. And then it depends on a cycle. So they'll come, your parental guides will come visit you again. Anywhere from now, from a cycle from now. And it came up to be like about a year. Like within a year or something. Maybe 6 months or anytime from today till then, they're gonna check in on you and see if you're ready or not, and like it will happen within like a year or so anyway, or the year after. No matter what, like this is gonna move forward. Like you're meant to be on this path. You're gonna walk through this like energetic threshold, this door, and your guys are just kind of checking up on you until you are ready. So they'll check up on you maybe, I don't know, maybe tomorrow, maybe in a few weeks, maybe in a few months, to see if you're quite ready yet. And the way to get there was to kind of release any expectations release any expectations of anything, release anything you have attachment to in this world, including your body, your goals, your life, people, places, and things, because you're having like a whole soul change, like soul level change, and so you can't really understand how much that is going to change your entire reality, let alone, I don't know, influence things like your relationship with a family member or your home location or anything like that. It's like it doesn't even like fit into the equation with the kind of change you're going to be going through. It's like so out of the picture. And then we saw that like there might be some sadness. You're probably going to be like changing such a like advanced level that you're going to be holding so much light and so much energy that it might trigger some of your loved ones, or people you know, and that's not fun. If you're holding so much light, it can trigger someone's ego. It can trigger their self-worth or what they feel like they should be doing in life, or why aren't they like that. Not always. Some people can appreciate it and learn from it, but some people it could trigger. And it might be difficult to see some of these people that you've known and care for and love be triggered by your energy. It might come out as nasty. Even for as advanced as you get, like there's still like human parts of you, And then you're given opportunities. These opportunities come in for long-term investments, long-term work that you have to do with certain groups of people, right? The group that you're assigned to work with as a light worker, your family and friends that you knew that you might have to help out, and your soul family that you're going to have for support and will be supporting. It seems like long-term projects, like, okay, didn't I give and help be a service to others, like for my life or majority of my life already, and I have to give more? Spirit saying this is like, no, this is like a very good karmic thing coming back to you, where although you're going to be responsible for these groups of people, it's going to be very much a blessing, very much emotionally fulfilling, and the right kind of situations for you to engage in. Okay, let's see what Spirit wants to say to you this time. Okay, fell in my lap. I almost said nap. Almost fell into a nap. Okay, Knight of Wands. So things are happening so rapidly, I'm getting, that it like, it forces you to kind of do a lot of these, like the last bit of inner work I'm getting before you kind of ascend is dealing, like how will you deal with your, you know, loved ones, your family and friends that you've known for a long time or haven't seen for a long time, but you get to see them go through this process. How do you handle that? Because even like, for example, if you had a loved one cross over, you kind of know that their energy kind of lingers if they can't let go of, you know, seeing their family members so sad about their passing, or, you know, if they have unresolved issues or something like that. So like spirit wants to see, your guides want to see, your higher self wants to see how you handle seeing people that you know go through this awakening. Are you going to be able to compose yourself? Are you going to be able to let them go to do their own inner work? Are you going to be overprotective, not be able to let go? Are you going to be triggered by some of their emotional work that they're going to mirror onto you? How do you handle these situations? Because even when you ascend to a more energetic body, more energetic plane, you still like have love for these people. You still have knowledge of these people and memories and desire to help them. So it's like I mean, you have to have like such good mastery to be able to kind of handle that kind of thing. So that's kind of like your last kind of major spiritual work before ascending. If it's just kind of very, you know, it's hard to see people that you love go through things like that. Okay. Camel pose. Interesting. So this card has to do with like tolerance and being steady. You know, you want to be both adaptable and resourceful. You want to open up your heart as you open up to life, and, you know, see if what kind of emotions are brought up, specifically from your root chakra area. So, you know, like more physical, like the really dark and, you know, 3D kind of issues, which is what's being triggered. You're going to see a lot of your family and friends and neighbors and community kind of deal with like very physical, 3D, dark, natured issues. And because you're so of the light and so high vibrational now, that's going to be like, I remember doing something like even like my leg chakra work, and that was kind of like so dark. Like, I think the sole of the chakras on the soles of your feet, which is like the lowest chakra in your body, has to do with people that kill just for the sake of killing. And I'm like, oh gosh, like this is intense kind of work. Like, you can feel into the emotion, you could feel into the energy without having to accept it. You know, you can like understand it without accepting it. And so that's kind of like an interesting kind of lower than root chakra work that I had to do. So that's what this kind of reminds me of. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You're being moved out of your comfort zone, and what are your limits? So this is kind of like spirit, like kind of testing your limits here. Before you ascend, what can we like really, like, you're going to see some crazy things. You're going to see some crazy things. You're going to see things that you didn't think humanity was capable of. It's one thing to hear about it, but to see it is another. And you're also going to see some crazy, dark things arise from your loved ones for them to deal with their personal issues that they need to deal with. And it's going to be kind of crazy. You probably want to step in and like help them and whatever. Okay, where is this going, Spirit? But like, this is Spirit testing your bodies. This is right before ascension. Like, this is before you walk through that door. Wow, the Two of Cups. So you're not going alone. You have to forsake all attachments in order to rise. It's kind of like keep moving forward, keep looking straight. I'm getting this image of like, when you had to say goodbye to someone and you're like driving away or you're walking away. And you have to tell yourself, like, don't look back. Don't look back. Like, keep walking forward. Because if you look back, you might not be able to move on, Wow. Oh my goodness. There's such strong messages. Okay, let's see what else Spirit has to say. What are some issues or advice? I dream about you a lot too much. Yeah, so this is like, I got this, so like, for example, when my grandfather passed away, my mom's father, like she was like the baby of the family. So very, very closely attached to her dad. And my grandfather also, loved my mom a lot. And like, although she was the youngest and like a girl, all the other siblings got a lot of attention. Like, my grandfather made sure to give my mom attention and take care of, me and my sibling and give us time. And then when he passed away, my mom had such a hard time with it. And he would come visit her in her dreams, like almost every night. And this was like happening for like over a month, where she like had to go see like a psychic advisor. And the psychic advisor was like, that's not good. That like he's coming to see you in your dreams every night. Like that's hard for him to detach and move on. And it's hard for you to detach and move on. So that's what I'm getting. It's like, I'm getting this like kind of feeling of like you're like dreaming of your family and friends and your familiar faces, your loved ones, and people you care about or have cared about more in the past. Like, it just doesn't go away. Like, if you had a friend that you were close with in the past and you're no longer friends, you still want them to be okay, you still hope that they're, the best for them. And just to even see that person that you haven't seen for years, that you were very close with at one point, go through something difficult, like, you don't want to see that. You want to help them out if you could. And that's what you're going to be able to see. You're going to see everyone. You're going to see people that you haven't seen for a long time. You're going to see people that you don't even know from different parts of the world going through a difficult time. And it's like, but specifically people that you're going to be dreaming about them a lot and too much. And that's kind of like the hindrance here. It's the thing that you need to be careful of here. And like now that you're aware of this issue, and this might be a possible issue in the future, maybe just this isn't like inner work you have to do every day. This is just something like, hey, you're watching this reading, maybe for a second think about like what are some things you could possibly do to help yourself if you're going through this kind of situation. And you don't even have to think of solutions. Just acknowledging like this is something that could happen is enough to know that you are somewhat prepared for it, just being aware of this kind of thing. Okay. The message of the Spirit. I am coming, trust. So this is your spirit, parental spirit guides. Whether this is like a physical, high vibrational, benevolent being, or energetic being, or some ancestor on the other side, or what I kind of mentioned this in the reading and pile 2, what this energy, the star card that's coming is, it's funny, it's 17, 7-1, 1771. I have to look that up now. Okay, from Joanne's Sacred Scribes, angel number 1771 is an auspicious number that tells you that to expect timely miracles to occur in your life and suggests that you're heading towards the right direction. So there's this like whole reading is like, yeah, things are obviously moving into a very divine and miraculous path forward. And you're on the right path. You're expressing your true nature, your soul's true nature. You're expanding and practicing your personal spirituality, and spiritual work is one of love and service. And like, know that this is what you're on the path for, and whoever you're bringing with you. So your romantic partner, your soulmate, your high vibrational soulmate, or your soulmate could be of a romantic nature. For most of you it is, or it could be a friend, a small group of friends, business partners, or neighbors, or family members. But for most of you it's of a romantic nature, but like that you guys are going to be ascending together and working on the soul mission together, and you know this is where you're headed. So just don't look back, right? What's Spirit's advice for this situation? What's Spirit's advice? I need time to reflect and expand. So it's okay if you need to take some time to just figure out what's going on. Like, even if like you catch yourself dreaming about these people a lot, or caring so much about these people, and kind of like, I'm getting like kind of like shocked and paralyzed by like what you should do. Should you help them? Should you move on? What if they're asking you for their help? You know, what if, you know, like all these what ifs coming on. It's okay to do nothing and just kind of be in the energy and kind of just feel through what you're feeling, release it, not like putting expectations on anything and yourself or the situation, and kind of not feeling guilty for not doing anything, and just kind of holding space for yourself and for your path forward. And even if you just like, even if you can't move forward and you don't want to move backward, just like standing there for a little while is okay. That's fine. Spirit is saying that's fine. If you need to take a break and just kind of let yourself expand into moving forward, expanding to see the higher perspective of things, why people are going through this, why they need to go through this, why you need to not be involved as much as you want to be. Like, let your like, you know, human self catch up with your spirit. It's totally fine, Spirit is saying. That's what you need to do. I believe in a happily ever after because of you. It's going to be very important that you have your soul family, soulmate there, because if you didn't have someone in the same boat as you, you'd think you're going crazy, you know? If you didn't have your soul family to support you, which is why the people you're responsible for, having your support system, your soul family, is so important, because you're helping a group of people, and you're also helping your friends and family, or you will be. I'm getting this as like a before thing. I'm getting like you meet like this. I'm getting that you move ascend with a partner or like a few people, right? And then you meet your like soul family that you're going to be supporting each other with, and then you're going to be assigned, you know, your group and your family and friends to help out. So that's the timeline I'm getting. So right now, like, just being with your partners is very, very important right now, because like, it's like, I'm not crazy, supporting each other, this is happening, you're on your way to meet other people who are in the same boat, understand. It's very important that you focus on each other and moving forward. And if you need to like pause for a second, a day or two, a week or hour or whatever, and then before you move forward, that's fine. As long as like you're not moving backward. Allow this love to unfold perfectly. Yeah, so again with it might seem so selfish to like just focus on you and your partner or your family, your immediate family or whatever. Your true few friends, like whatever you're sending with. And it's not. Like you're expanding your ability to love and hold love, which is energy. Hold love and light. And this is going to ultimately help more people, including your friends and family, in the very near future, like within the next year or two after, So like it's like this is a really tough thing, but it's like the right thing for everyone in the end, So that's why this is one of the toughest kind of inner work that you're gonna ever have to do or ever have done, or one of the toughest. And this is the one that you'll have to do right before you ascend. Okay, is there any last message that you have, Spirit, for this group? Ace of Wands, yeah. With the Knight of Wands, this, like, I'm getting the today, like, this starts now. This kind of energy starts now. You've been made aware. So, no, this is happening. Spirit's like, no, this is happening. I'm coming, trust. Like, trust this is happening. And you're ready for it. You're leading the way with so many other leaders that you'll be shoulder to shoulder with. Yeah. Including your partner. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that reading. Much love and light. Hey, pile number 4. This is the red calcite. I went to a crystal store recently, and it's this lady who actually mines a lot of her crystals by herself. And she had just had like a table full of different kinds of calcite. That's important. I'm going to look it up real quick. Okay, so calcite is a stone of amplification. So it brings in so much energy into whatever energy you're trying to amplify. And there's so many different colors of calcite. So I don't know how that resonates with the reading at this time, but let's see what spirit message for you is. Okay. These came up first. I imagine you naked. And network of people. Awesome. Okay. So I imagine you naked came up because what's it? There you're seeing your partner very clearly at this time. Sorry, I just want to hold my amethyst for a bit. Like they're seeing you very clearly, and they're seeing you've. I just said that they're seeing you very clearly, and you're seeing them very clearly. Double take, I'm getting. They had to do a double take. I feel like they see into your soul, and it's a weird psychic thing I'm getting at, especially since I went to go grab my amethyst. And I feel like this is the light worker network of people that's coming together. It's a weird thing. I talk about in the original Lightworker reading from yesterday that there's like an amplification. Oh my god, I literally said this. There's an amplification of your energies because you alone are very powerful, and although you can like say give out 5-10 times more energy and light into the world than the average person because of the work that you've done, just like connecting and being aware of other light workers, it forms this kind of like light grid where everyone's like energy is amplified 10-100 fold, you know. And it's like this crazy thing where I'm getting like light workers and like psychic abilities are going, like all the light workers that are gonna connect to this network of light workers. I mean, this is gonna affect the collective as a whole later on, where everyone awakens up to their psychic abilities as well. But in the beginning, we have this network of light workers who've already done the work up until now, that are advanced enough and leveled up enough to form this network of light workers, and that's going to amplify our psychic abilities, and that's going to be like telepathic abilities, like you've never seen, as if we've been talking that way our entire lives, kind of thing, on par with those beings that had telepathic abilities their entire lifetimes, that kind of thing. It's like very, you're gonna be able to see the soul of people. You're gonna be able to see their vibration. You're gonna be able to see their aura. You're gonna be able to see like their soul, right? I see like you're gonna be able to see people's charts. I mean, like I get it looks kind of astrological, but I'm getting like also like their destinies, and see where they fit in with the bigger puzzle, like with the divine plan. They're what piece of the puzzle they bring to the divine plan. And it's like no one's above or below anyone. Like everyone has a part to play, no matter how big or small it looks. They're all important. Very accepting of where people's experiences and talents and knowledge and wisdom lies, to bring in that bring that in for the divine plan during this awakening. My goodness. Okay, we have the Chariot and the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, these two cards were together in the reading, and they represented like going back and forth between the realms very like often. Don't think because we don't talk I don't want you to, because I do. Communicate clearly. Okay, and a friend. Okay. Well, let's see. So a friend was someone that you make friends with the group that you're assigned. After you go through this kind of like light worker training or kind of practice mode, you're kind of given like assigned a group to kind of help out with awakening, and you make a friend in that group that teaches you as much as you are teaching the group. So these cards, it's kind of funny. It's like, don't think because we don't talk, I don't want you to, because I do. Not talking and communicate clearly. These are two different things. So these cards are kind of related because this had to do with how you turn into such a pure divine soul, you know, after this kind of change for you physically, spiritually, that you turn to this pure raw divine being and spirit and soul. And so it's kind of like you become very poised. You don't see the necessity of talking or making small talk or the like with, like, say your friends or family or people you've known. Which is kind of weird because you're going to be also trained to communicate clearly, especially when you're helping people awakened, including the group that you're assigned and your friends and family. And you just become this like very like angelic kind of divine being that doesn't really necessarily needs to talk all the time, except for like when you need to, when you're giving these like lectures or helping with people, communicating clearly what the divine plan is and how do we move forward after this change for humanity and the world. So it's a like, you know, turning into this pure raw energy being, communicating because you need to help your assigned groups, but also because you're going so back and forth from like this like really high vibrational divine realm into this like physical reality. It's I mean there's a chance that you might not want to come back. You have opportunity to not come back if you don't want to, because people might not understand why you're not talking, why you're not the person you used to be, or they kind of miss that, and like you're like, okay, it's worse for them for me to be around them more, not as the person they remember, kind of thing, you know. Okay, so let's see what Spirit has to say about this for this group. Knight of Pentacles. Interesting. We have the Knight of Wands for the last pile. This is, you know, a slow and steady change. This process, it takes a while because, you know, you're sharing the divine plan that you have co-created with the other light workers, the other spiritual leaders of mankind, and with our, you know, benevolent, higher vibrational friends. You know, and we know the awakening process takes time. So we're here helping our assigned groups and our friends and family. And this is like a slow, methodical, well planned out, very successful journey for you, for light workers at this time. It's a slow and steady process. You're very poised though, like this. I never ever saw this person sitting on this unicorn before. It's interesting because there's this. I went to the East Eddy Ranch in Oregon, and yeah, I did see some UFO ships. That was pretty cool. But I forget his name, but the leader, the owner of the East Eddy Ranch, he was mentioning how when you're in a high vibrational state, it's funny like how like people who are not in that high vibrational state, more 3D people, might not even see you. Like you could be standing in a group, and everyone could be talking, and then someone who's not as high vibrational as you will turn around and be like, oh my gosh, like where were you? Like, where did you come from? I didn't even see you there. It's like, I've been standing here the whole time right next to you, you know? How could you know? So like, it's fun, it's interesting, like people who are of lower vibration sometimes can't even see high vibrational people because they're just on another frequency, on another level, right? I didn't even see that person. So I'm gonna like I'm not. Is this literal or is this Magician reversed and these are very etheric colors. Are you kidding me? It's very deep purple with the red and orange. I think it's such a cool combination, purple and red. See the purple of this infinity sign here. And then the unicorn. Wow. Getting very like etheric feelings. I mean, it's very mystical. Like whatever is going on with, however you're going to the other realm and back, it's very mystical. It's otherworldly, literally. It's mystifying and it's mysterious. It's you're working with energy. You're working with advanced technology that, like, you know, advanced enough technology seems like magic, right? It seems very magical. It seems very mystical and miraculous and godly. Yeah, of the divine I'm getting. I'm getting like they see you as statues. I'm getting like, you know how like if someone's moving around really fast and someone's moving very slow, they look like a statue to that person moving really fast. Wow. It's interesting because when you're higher vibrational is usually when you're leveled up and you are more energetic being and you're can access the more energetic realms. But also people who are really high vibrational also like slow down in life. Like they take everything, every task that they do, every word that they speak to have meaning. And so I'm getting that like it seems like very poised. The things that these light workers who have been trained and coming over here to help others with, they seem very poised, very statuesque, very ethereal. Things that we do seem very magical when we do it. Otherwise, it just seems like we're doing nothing, and it seems like we're not even speaking. When in fact, like we're gonna be very telepathic, and we're gonna be, doing things not just on the physical realm, but energetic realms as too. That we're able to access and live multiple higher versions of ourselves at the same time as we're dealing with our physical self, and that's something that they're not gonna be able to see, at least initially, and that's something that's like makes these light workers very statuesque and divine seeming. And it could be very intimidating for people to talk to someone like that. It's like I remember you as a person who would just drink beers and eat pizza and party and talk about the most random things, or watch sports on your couch or play video games till the end of the night, or it's like it's such a stark difference. It's very, it could come off a little bit scary to people that known you, like your friends and family, or just to people in general, because you just seem like not very human-like anymore, or just so gracious, kind of like a very like a queen or king or empress or emperor, like that kind of, just like, who's this hooty tooty person with their nose stuck up in the air, like not exactly looking at you that way, but kind of it comes off like you're very regal, and it's just like it can come off intimidating or just unrelatable to some people, and a little, yeah. So that's what I'm getting there. Why is this significant? Spirit also some reason to know about this. I'm so sorry. At some point, like, this is why you kind of might think about just staying on the other side more, not interacting with people you've known that much, even though you care about them and you want to be around them and interact with them. It's just like, like you just, end up feeling like sorry that, like, that you can't comfort them in the way that they would like to be comforted as your old self or something. Like, they could have used another extra comforting person in their life right now, especially someone like you who's helping them with their ascension process. but the fact that you're so different kind of doesn't add that extra layer of comfort. It does still bring comfort to them that like you're there helping them through this process and all the people that you know, but it just feels like they can't connect to you in the way that they used to, and you just like, I'm sorry, like this is how things are. I'm afraid of losing you. Yeah, so they're afraid that like that you're not going to want to come back, because they can't connect with you as strongly as they could before. You're not, you have the opportunity and option to just stay in the higher realms. So that's, I'm really hoping this is not like spiritual people becoming like comatose. I hope this is actually going to a higher energetic realm physically with our physical bodies. I want you in my arms again. Yeah, I'm just getting this kind of feeling of like I just want to be able to hug you and kiss you and have dinner with you like we used to, or watch movies, or go throw the ball around, or go to the mall, or go for a walk or something, just like we used to, or something like that. Okay, what's Spirit's advice here? Camel pose. Okay, we got that in the last reading, and I went through that. Watch the last reading if you feel connected to the camel. Ooh, look at the beautiful duck. Compassion. Okay, so compassion is what's important here. Yeah. I just feel like sad at the thought of, oh God, this is such heavy energy coming in right now. Yeah, like at the thought of, friends and family and loved ones. I'm getting like the black sheep, like never really appreciating the black sheep or something like that. Like once the black sheep, always black sheep. Like I'm feeling that they feel kind of sad too. Like maybe if I hugged you more, maybe if I like talked to you a bit more, you wouldn't have had to go through this. You would have been here alongside me. But also like, wow, congratulations for doing this, and now you're coming back and helping the rest of us, and like worrying about you. Like, are you okay being this black sheep, this mystical being, this spiritual leader? Are you really happy? Because I feel like you don't emote that much, so it just seems like it might seem like you're just like unhappy with your responsibilities, but you're not. You're like uber happy, like ecstatic on the inside. You're feeling bliss. You're feeling constant divine love in excess at every second of every moment. It's just you become in a very like angelic like state, a statuesque emotionless state. Is just like, it's just because you're like divine, and you're just so close to divinity. You're so close to the regalness of it. It's just it's presented in your energy. You can feel like love and compassion in your energy, just being like in the same room with you. And you're gonna have so much like power in that people are gonna just feel at ease just being in your energies, whether they know that you're around or not. Just like I'm getting like a 5-10 mile kilometer radius around you is gonna bring calmness to anyone that's in your energy, and a little bit of that bliss, peaceful, happy love energy from the divine just being in your energies, healing energies. It's like like, I feel like the people who love you, your loved ones, are going to be feeling compassion. Like, do they feel okay having this kind of burden, but they don't understand, like, that you're in bliss. And it's not a burden to help people anymore. And, like, the amount you're helping people is, like, so much. My life started when I met you. So yeah, there's like a lot of, like, you're going to be helping a lot of people, like, kind of reboot their life. I feel like a lot of people are going to look back to when they first met you, or during their earlier years of your relationship with them. And they're kind of really looking back at you and your life and just being like, wow, like, this person who I thought was a black sheep, or was odd, or seemed very, like, sensitive, or very different, had a unique path, or how did I not see it from the beginning, or there's always something special about them, like, what's so different about them than everyone else, kind of thing. Like, these are things that you're gonna make people question, especially people that have known you. How did they get from point A to point B? What makes them so special? And I'm not seeing any, like, jealousy or envy, but kind of, like, admiration. So, I don't know why. I guess because I'm like, why is this message even coming through? And I think it's because, like, a lot of light workers had a difficult time relating to others, or maybe family and friends, or letting them in on their way of life, or why their life had to happen the way it did. I didn't even see this little baby here. I feel like some light workers will choose to stay here and have a family and be an example of, like, what an ideal, very divine family in the physical will look like. And it's going to be, like, so different. Like, I feel people are going to feel unrelatable to you in, like, your kids, or your way of life, or your home life. And it's just like, you bring such ease into it. You bring such, like how do they seem like to have a perfect family life? How are their kids behaving so well? How do they always seem so happy at the end of the day? Like, how do they work so well together? And it's just like, you're bringing this kind of divinity back into humanity. Like, yeah, like, imagine if you had telepathy and you guys can just coordinate things without having to, like, argue about things. And just compromise and brainstorm ideas very quickly with not just each other, but with your higher selves, your source energy. It's just crazy amazing. This is wow. Ace of Pentacles. What is that in regards to? What is this Ace of Pentacles in regards to? A couple of cards came out. The Strength card and the Six of Cups. This came out in a previous reading. You have the opportunity, like I said, like, that you have the opportunity to live in the mental realms. You also have the higher energetic realms. You also have the choice to live out the rest of your life, or most of your life, out here in the physical. As an option. Why are you saying this, Spirit? I'm gonna put one of these. Ace of Swords. It needed to be said. It needed to be said because then can you make a decision? You have a decision here. I'm not ready for us yet. There's some people who, have the option. Maybe there's, like, an option to live your life, like, go to the other side, live your life out on the other side in a higher energetic plane. But a lot of light workers are going to choose to stay here and live out their life, their physical life, before merging back to the other side. Is this an indication, Spirit, that the veil is thin? and that light workers can go back and forth as much as they want for the rest of their remaining lives. Camel pose. Testing your limits. Okay. Okay, so 2 cards came out. Zeal and balanced life. Okay. So in the book, Tapas, the butterfly, 10, it has to do with willpower and inner fire. But interesting, they said each winter, monarch butterflies migrate on a long journey south. Their tiny, fragile wings are enough to get them great distances with the zeal and grace. And that's what stood out to me the most. Zeal and grace. Not just zeal and grace. And this kind of beauty with grace. So even though zeal is about having a lot of enthusiasm for the pursuit of something, and normally you think of a person with a lot of zeal to be very bold and brazen. I'm getting it's a quiet, bold and brazen, and especially that they put zeal with grace, and grace being very beautiful in your movements and your actions, being very elegant and refined in your movements. I feel like you're so bold and brazen, and then very beautiful in the way that you, and like a quiet strength, very the strength card, yeah, just this cool temperament, just everything you say and do being very beautiful, while still being bold and brazen in your pursuits. Wow. And then balanced life. And this card has to do with kind of skillfully living in the material world without clinging to anything physical. Knowing that you have enough of what you need and that you cling to nothing. Not even negative thoughts. I'm getting the word austere. And it's interesting because both these cards, this one having to have material comfort that you need in the world very easily, so you have everything that you need in the material world, like physical things, money, or anything else like that, very easily, and not to cling to any of these material things. And then this card talking about not having your identity based on things you have in the material world. And both these kind of talk about not clinging to the material world, but living in this material world, living in this physical world. So I see this as a very interesting message from Spirit to be yeah, even though a lot of you will want to live in the physical world after this and have families or a home and careers and whatnot, you'll be obviously well taken care of because you have this ability, this status, and your resume has spiritual leader that helps humanity on it. So you have this very calm and calming effect wherever you go. People will want you to live in certain places. People want you to work in certain businesses. People will want you to be around certain families or nonprofit groups and everything. And it's just I think in one of the piles we talk about how you have so many opportunities and such because of that. but you understand you want to live a very balanced life. You're not very attached to these things, and you still have a very divine flow for whatever you do. Just dream and wish for everything. This is kind of the issue that you might have, is this you're overwhelmed with the amount of options and kind of where you want to go to next, being pulled in different directions, having a lot of opportunities. And what do you want? Spirit's like, I feel like I'm going to pull one more card. Okay. You make my heart full. So I'm getting like anything you do, you'll do extremely well, which is why everyone wants you to be in their, work on their project with them, be in their business, or live in their area or whatever. Be in their line of work. You hurt me, but that's okay, I guess. Yeah, this came up in a different pile, but kind of like how people may not understand that, you know, you're one person. You can't be in 20 different places at once and do 20 different kinds of careers, or, you know, it's one of the things that you don't have an issue with. Like, yeah, you might have a lot of options and you had to figure out what you want to do. And it'll be like, from that reading, we saw that like you'll be able to easily like narrow down the few things that you want to work on in this life, the rest of this lifetime, and, you know, put your focus and attention on that, at least for the next like foreseeable future. And, you know, having compassion for the people that wanted your skills and talents and weren't able to win you over. I don't know. What's the message here, Spirit? It's like, I need some time and space. Yeah, at some point, it's like, yeah, you came here to be of service to others, and that was a main part of you getting this like light worker training and doing that kind of stuff. But at some point, you just kind of want to live your life. Like one of the reasons you want to come back here is because you want to be able to enjoy this physical realm for the divine in the way that, you know, it was meant to be lived, which could be very simply, very authentically, very intentionally. And that's something I think a lot of people understand. It's like, well, you can do anything you want. You have all the money, you have all the fame, you have, you know, all the power. Like, you can do whatever you want. And you're just like, I just want to, like, you know, live in my cabin by the river and, you know, feed my animals and take care of my kid and, you know, wash my laundry in the river and make my apple pies. And they're like, what is wrong with this person? Like, for, like, not living an extravagant life and also not helping as more than you already are. Not saying that that's the kind of life you're going to live, probably very simply and very close to nature, of course, but and not that you aren't going to have multiple projects that you are going to be working on that you choose to do for their lifetime, but you might take a lot of time off to like do things of just being out in nature or something, you know? That's what Spirit wanted you to say. No. And there's still time for us. Yeah. There's this thing that came up about time before too, about how it's gonna be different working with time, and so like going back and forth, like there's something about finding out like how to like save on time so you can learn something there and come back, and not much time has passed in this physical realm, but like you come here to experience time this way again. Sometimes it's just like there's something you can learn with the way time works here in this realm that's so like pleasant if you allow it to be. The fact that you can pause and have silences, and just days pass and seconds pass. Like, there's so much beauty in the way that time works here that sometimes isn't appreciated by us. Yeah. And like the kind of work you can do, the inner work, the spiritual work you can do with just time alone. Just living a simple life is like a very difficult thing for people to do sometimes. Okay. Yeah, wanting to live a simple life or being able to live a simple life, it's like there's a very much like power in that, because the divine loves to see through your eyes living that kind of life. Appreciating every like small detail, every small second. And because you're so closely connected to divinity, like the way you see life and the way you live life probably might not be able to be easily understood by others who aren't connected in that strong a way. Okay, any last message from Spirit for you? Yeah, then we got the Page of Wands here. And because it came out all the way in the first corner, this would be like A1. Like, I feel I'm getting that this happens. This starts now. Like, whenever you're watching this, like, and every single pile that I've done, it's like, this starts now. This starts now. This starts now. So, who knows when that is? Because sometimes my reading is like, okay, this happens now, and it happens like today or tomorrow, or happens in 3 months or 6 months, or it happens definitely within a year. But 12 to 13 months, if not 9, if not 6, if not 3, if not tomorrow, if not today. But yeah, this is like inevitable, and it happens now. Time. I'm not going to pull a time card. Okay. I hope you enjoyed that reading. Much love and light. Hi, pile number 5. This is the blue Argonite. Can't really see it in the sun, but it's very light blue. Let's see Spirit's message for you. Okay. Seems like a good amount. That's too many cards. Okay. First cards. Okay, the 3 of Wands and the Queen of Swords. So this was a Spirit saying you're definitely going down this path. It's already kind of placed ahead of you. The Queen of Swords is kind of like letting go of expectations, things in the physical that you have attachments to, including relationships, or like the outcome of relationships and such. The Knight of Swords, swift as the wind, you're taking charge and speaking true. Nothing can hold you back from expressing yourself or your ideas, and you're ready to fearlessly face any obstacles or challenges that stand in your way. And this is kind of indicating that you are being sort of trained to kind of be able to educate others on these particular matters, and also bring forth ideas that are so important that you want to be sure that you're able to communicate these ideas very effectively and clearly and as positively as you can. We should see other people, and this was about how when you go through this kind of training and come back as a very different person because you've upgraded your soul, that you become like a very completely different person. You become very poised, graceful, divine, angelic is the ways I can describe it. That it might be hard for people you've known to see you that way, and for you to also see other people who have difficulty being around you, this new version of you. And therefore, maybe not being around the people that your loved ones in the past as much for their sake. And we have the Knight of Swords again, 2 Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords. And the Knight of Swords in this deck is violent disagreements, but it came out reverse in the reading, which was that some of the disagreements that come up between you and your partner will not be violent. In fact, it will be understandable disagreements that will be easily worked through. And then the Magician in reverse, which is like assigned to me. As this is the last pile that I'm doing for this reading, that everything kind of comes together. Okay, so where do you want to start, Spirit? What comes together? What's coming together? This is kind of like a little review for me of like everything that's happened in the reading. And this one and the main one. Okay, physical postures. Sana's beautiful cow. So this card is about like kind of just quietly sitting and observing the world through very sweet eyes. And reconnecting with nature and just radiating peace. So I got this like kind of with this posture, kind of like being very poised. And this has been a kind of like an overarching theme of these readings, where like when you see some of these like yogis and shamans and Buddhists, monks, and just very highly spiritual people, they're often just kind of very peacefully sitting there. They'll observe. They radiate this peaceful energy. That's why anyone that's in the presence of them, even if it's like in the thousands, will feel that energy, will feel this happiness radiating off of them, because they're just that powerful. They also feel like some healing energies. The blissful, divine love energies. A sense of everything's going to be okay. Yeah, very calm energies. But they also feel, these yogis and shamans, they also like just give like the most perfect advice, perfect stories. People want to sit around them and hear their stories, hear them talk, hear them joke, hear them talk about what they know, their wisdom and experiences. Hear them teach, hear them just kind of lecture and whatnot. And yeah, I'm getting this like image. I got this like there's this video where I watched, like, if you're a very high vibrational like person, if you're in a room, like things of like a darker nature, like even like bugs and stuff, will like leave the room because they can't be around something of that like high amount of light energy. So I'm getting that like this is kind of like what Spirit wanted to kind of mention, is like you're going to be so in tune with your divine self and source energy that you're going to be so in tune with nature and the elements, and like you're going to be so psychically in tuned, but also so spiritually attuned to the divinity around you. I'm getting so like Yeah, besides people noticing you and how you come off being very like not emoting with your face or being very statuesque, being ethereal, being very regal, exuding such like warm, calm, peaceful energies, happy energies. Always in your movements being very elegant in the way you speak and the way you move. Feeling like you're moving very slowly, but you're doing everything methodically with intention. That's like how I've been describing how other people see you, but I think you're also going to notice that like you're more in tune to nature. You're more in tune with like the grass beneath your feet, the trees that are around your property, even like with the wind and the sun in the sky and, you know, the fire and water and dirt. And it's just like you'll realize that you're going to be able to affect these things energetically also. Whoa. Wow, illumination. Is that a card that's specifically like the extra card in this deck? That's so interesting. Yeah, you're just gonna be like a source of illumination, but also Four of Swords in reverse, and the Queen of Cups in reverse and backwards. I see this crane here. This looks like an emerald chair. I feel like illumination coming to you. You're not even like actively seeking it. Illumination coming to you. What does that even mean? I'm closing out a painful cycle. Yeah, we do see some circles here. So some sort of cycle. Kind of remind me of the Wheel of Fortune. Closing out a painful cycle. I got this kind of like Gandalf reference, like where when before he becomes like Gandalf the White, he's just kind of traversing the universe, and then like it seems like it's been like decades or eons or whatever, and comes back, and it's just like it took him a second to figure out where he was. Oh my god, this is like a Gandalf the White situation. You come back and you're this like wizard, this etheric mystical being. So different. But we already talked about that in other piles. What's their significance here? Think before you act. I'm getting like you don't have to think before you act anymore. Okay, there's this I remember like I very briefly I forget how the conversation went, but like I remember talking to a spiritual friend of mine about like merging with your higher self to the point where you don't have to think before you act anymore, because you're just in line. Your body and your action is aligned with your mind and your heart and your higher self and source energy. They're also aligned that you don't need to think before you act anymore, because they're already, everything in your vibration and your body and everything is already all aligned to the divine. That's what I remember. So like I'm getting like even like the perfect situation happens in your environment, like you're looking for, you need like a specific kind of chair, and like one just arrives it's right behind that door or something like that, or like things like that. Like they're like you're like a synchronicity, like more like people think you're a synchronicity master, like you're like a master manifester, and you kind of are, but you're not, because like you're not manifesting these things, like the universe is manifesting it with you. Like you are not just you anymore, you are the universe. So like I'm getting kind of like the three-eyed raven from like Game of Thrones. It's like it's not Bran anymore, it's like everything, the all-knowing power. So it's not just like you're manifesting what you want. It's like the universe, as well as your energy, is manifesting what both of you want or need at that time. This is another level. I love you so much, it scares me. Yeah. I feel like there's so much love for, you know, source energy, the universe, and source energy and universe loves you so much because you guys have this incredible relationship and incredible connection, and you're working in tandem to you know, when you come back onto the physical plane to kind of live out your life and do the soul mission. You have such love. That's why you're able to exude it in your energies. You're able to hold so much energy. Energy is love. Love is energy. You're able to feel in and tap into the energy of everything around you. You're expanded, you know, and therefore the God essence is expanded in you. So it seems like manifestation to other people, but it's not. It's just you working with the bigger part of you, God essence, to paint this reality, to live out, to exist in this reality, to live out this reality. And it's just like seamless collaboration, seamless co-creating. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. The yoga card came out. Okay. I just see this tree. And I'm just gonna leave this out here, but yeah, I see this tree. Meditation. Okay, I love how both the eyes of these animals are so like sweet and like calm and like happy. So I'm getting this kind of energy of like you're in a continuous state of meditation. I've been trying. Oh my, that just reminds me of this like a couple of months ago or something. I was like trying to practice open-eyed meditation. I'm like, is this possible? And I wasn't even trying to do it. I was just like sitting down to meditate, and then like I started like meditating with my eyes open, and I'm like, what is happening right now? This is so crazy. I didn't know this was possible. That's what this is reminding me of. Like you're in a constant state of meditation, constant state of connectivity with the source energy. You are a saint. You are a walking saint on this earth. I'm kind of a little bit freaking out with the messages coming through right now. And also a little bit hungry. Wow. What do you say after that? I have a feeling like maybe one or two people watch this in the future. I might watch it in the future. Like, what? Who reads like this? Two of Swords. So, what I'm getting from this, because it's in reverse, the Two of Swords, is that it might feel like you're giving someone the silent treatment. It might feel like you're giving everyone else the silent treatment. I'm getting like you may stay in touch with some light workers and see them off, like see them here or there. You might see your family, your bloodline, family and friends that you grew up with or known before this transition here and there. People you've met through your soul mission work here and there. But I'm getting, for the most part, you kind of like, it seems like you're giving this kind of silent treatment to the world. And that's just because you're living out your life, right? You're so tuned in with the energies that you don't need to speak unless you absolutely need to. There's like a Native American, I forget which tribe, that spoke about like you shouldn't say anything unless you have something worthy to say. I feel like a lot of people just say a lot of things that's not worth anyone's time or energy, not even the people speaking it. So it's like words have such power that like, and you're so powerful that, you know how they say like words are spells and magic, kind of like, why use that power, that energy, unless it's for something you absolutely deem worthy. And so like people might not understand that that's why you don't really speak that much, and like telepathy is a thing that you've mastered at this point. Ooh, the Devil card in reverse with the Nine of Pentacles. It's interesting because like you have no longer have like the desire for material things. You don't have any like bad habits or addictions of any kinds. You really have a very blessed physical, material, and monetary, financial life. But it's not something like, it's something that you use to create the life that you want, but you don't really see like, it's like you just like live in it. You don't really, and you appreciate it, but you don't really need it. It just kind of forms around you. It's like wherever you go, you might get invited to like nice hotel rooms or be able to walk across the most gorgeous gardens, you know, be able to have like the most healthiest food, or like I'm getting like animals flock to you, or, you know, plants respond to you, the elements and all that stuff. It's like you're not even like kind of actively creating these environments. They're just so attracted to your energy that you just naturally have beautiful things in your environment, very divine, high vibrational things in your environment. You wouldn't be able to stay in a non-high vibrational place for very long. Not because you can't, just because that place would just automatically start to change too quickly. So you kind of stay in more high vibrational places, which is more in nature or just energy places that like have, you know, high vibrational architecture and building materials and like land and such. Okay, so this reading has to do with more with like this, how this energy affects your material and physical and financial well-being, and also your environment. I do get like only your immediate family will be around you, so your partner and your children. Because they too can be in like the same kind of energy environment as you. Oh wow. the World card and it's flipped. It's interesting because both of these, like with the moon here, both these women, just in a very elegant form. Like, it doesn't need the world, doesn't need the physical world, doesn't need the material abundance or the financial abundance, but you have it. You have the world. You have everything you could possibly need physically and intuitively, emotionally. This moon is kind of like, I feel like her aura, I'm getting like the silver aura surrounding you. Also, I'm indicating intuition and psychic abilities and connection to the divine. And the World card, very, very strongly connected to the earth and to nature, but not needing it. Just being at one. Why are these two? I never left you. It's kind of like unearthing like a part of you, part of humanity. Like, it's kind of like how humans were given kind of amnesia, not really knowing our true human history and how connected to the divine we are, and how connected to the beautiful divine things around us, like nature and our beautiful creative artwork and projects. How like disconnected we've gotten, how we've forgotten our power, our spiritual talents. How we can tune into these energies and vibrations and everything that we do, people, places, and things, ideas, potentials. It's going to be the way humans were designed in the first place. So no wonder it feels like very divine. Okay. Why were these women? Happiness is my priority, and it fell in reverse. So I'm getting that, especially with the idea of we should see other people. You want to make sure that people make happiness their priority again. And how better to do that than be the example, to actually live that life. To live a more simple life, to live a more happy and fulfilling life, to live a more abundant life. Showing people, it's like to be the best teacher, like show it, right? How do you have more people live a more divine life? Be it. If they can see, like, because, like, you know how a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I'll believe it when I see it, and it's like, oh, that's not how spirituality and faith works. You have to believe it and then you'll see it. It's like a lot of people have a hard time visualizing that or believing that, and like they need proof of it. And a lot of times we do get proof, but then we kind of immediately dismiss it and forget about it and be like, oh, that was just a fluke, right? And so then if you are living it every second of every day and people see it and they believe it, it's kind of one of those things that, like, when you're running a marathon or running a race and you're like, oh, humans aren't capable of like running this many second mile, and then you see someone do it, and then like after that, like so many people also break that record. It's like seeing that it's possible allows people to achieve it, other people to achieve it much more easier because you've seen it happen. Like, that's what I'm getting. Okay. The reason these ladies are facing want to get you drunk. And it came face downwards, so I feel like this is the energy coming towards you. I feel like there's a lot of people who might want to corrupt you. Okay, this is something we're gonna have to discuss. So we're dealing with like, okay, your environment right now. Yeah. So there might be a lot of energies that want to corrupt you. 15 is also the devil energy that came up twice. There are a lot of people that might want to corrupt you, but you're incorruptible at this time. You're connected. You're in constant state of meditation. You're in constant connection with source energy. You're in constant state of, what's it called again? What's that called? Kundalini. You're in constant Kundalini energy, in constant state of bliss, constant state of connection, right? I've heard about it. I've read about people being in constant state, but like maybe like 3 in the entire like human history I've heard. But it's possible. We're just in a cool time in human history where more people are going to be more connected. But like people are going to want to get you drunk. But the thing is, you're incorruptible. So let me pull a couple more cards. Oh my gosh. Sex. Another 15 double card. And I need time for me. Okay. So I'm going to address this issue first. I want you to get drunk and sex. What? I've always believed in you and me. Okay, this is a lot of like, okay, obsession energies, a lot of dark energies that want to corrupt you, that want to maybe even eliminate you, harm you in some way. But the thing is, you're so well protected that like even like you can't even exist in an environment where someone is even thinking negatively, like, you know. So it's like it's going to be very difficult for anyone to even attempt. Like, you have your own bodyguard, and that's the divine. Like, that's your divinity, because you're already so protected that you affect your environment. So although you might trigger this in people, you might trigger some people who want to do harmful things or bad things to you or people like you, other light workers and spiritual leaders that are doing this kind of stuff. It's impossible. In fact, you know it is impossible. You're not threatened at all, but it's just you triggering in them their darkest shadows and their darkest shadow work. There might also be a lot of people who feel like they might be obsessed with you, in love with you, infatuated with you in a very obsessive, very negative way. That's also triggering in them some issues that they need to work on. If God's walked the earth, what? It's kind of like if you're around people who are so like seemingly perfect, like how would that affect you? Would you like be obsessed with them? Would you want to kill them? Would you want to like harm them? Would they be on your mind constantly, or they like be just like a topic of conversation every now and then, but you're allows you to kind of focus on your life and your family life, your home life, and not having it affect you as much, or at least, yeah. Like, were you the person that was always obsessed with a celebrity or a singer, artist, someone famous of some sort? Status. Did you glorify their lifestyles? People who had money, rich and famous. You're gonna trigger the deepest and darkest shadow aspects in people, which is really understandable why you might not want to stay in one place for too long, or at least travel outside of the security of your home. And it's not security for you, it's security for them. You know, it's going to be difficult for people to feel that much light if they're not used to it, and they have so much that they're working on. They'll need a break from that kind of energy, you know. So you're not going to just see that from the people that you know that you're around, but you're going to see that in like the areas that you go to, which is why you can't stay in very low vibrational places for too long. But just even walking by it can trigger the worst shadow aspects in the lowest vibrational people very quickly. It's just how it works. Most of the time, what would happen? What's going to happen to these people? Like, just be aware this is something that might happen. Some people don't want to start like their journey. Some people won't want to start their journey, their spiritual journey, to be a better person, to awaken spiritually. Some people won't heed your advice or your teachings. Some people will want to be left alone and ignore the awakening that's happening and want to just, live out their own life. These are some things that you're going to have to be aware of that might happen once in a while, here and there. Something else. Okay, so the Three of Swords, so with three, it's going to be very heartbreaking for some people. I mean, it might even literally kill people. People might not be able to take this. It might take their own life because they can't even begin to comprehend where to start in trying to live a life that resonates with them, that makes them happy. Like, it's like there's like so much maybe trauma in their life and challenges and work to be done that it's just easier out to disconnect, which, I mean, isn't going to be like ideal. Like, obviously you wouldn't like that, people around them and you won't like that, but this is just like a reality that we're gonna have to like kind of start getting like being aware of. These are some possibilities, some dark things that might happen in the environment. I'm getting that this isn't like everyone. This is like I don't know. Can we get a percentage maybe? 36% in the Kali. And 16. Anywhere from 16 to 30. What was it? $16 to $36. The 20% range there. Yeah. Of people. Which is still pretty a lot. But we did get that. We get, like a long time ago, there's a prediction that like, a third of the people will be awakened, a third of people will want to awaken, a third of people will die or not want to be awakened or something. A third. A third of the people will know the truth, a third of the people will be willing to work on themselves and know the truth, and the third people will not. So that's kind of like the general numbers, if you want to look at it. Wow, it's a lot more than I thought. Also be aware What is this about? Nine of Swords. It's this bird. There's some I'm getting some light workers who come out the other end that might go back to their own old, more 3D way, or might struggle with it more than others. Like, you can only train your light workers that much you can, and like not everyone's perfect. You're still coming back to human body, where they might use their power and knowledge to kind of scream at others and kind of force others to change, and that will just kind of, and that's not going to work on everybody or most people. They might, oh yeah, no, that's not only that. Okay. Sorry, not the light workers won't. Sorry. Some light workers will get really frustrated and want to yell at about a third of the people who want to like not change and stay in their ways. And there's nothing you could do. They won't waver. That's something to be aware of, because this is a family member or someone you know or someone you care about, or someone you just kind of want to budge and they won't budge. Like, be careful of that bringing out a very, like, using your power for in a dark way kind of way. I don't see you or any other light worker kind of completely turning that page, but I do see that like be aware. There might be people who are awakening. Okay, these aren't the people who've done the light worker training with the high vibrational energy beings. These are people who are awakening and becoming light workers after light workers come back from training and more people awakened. You're going to see those people kind of, they might rise to power fast. For example, with the race analogy, like, getting like beating a personal record for a mile, and then that after that record is broken, like 10-15 people after that like beat the record right away because they see it. So these are not untrained, but like unseasoned, unexperienced new light workers who might gain a lot of power quickly, and not know how to exercise that power well yet. So be aware that you might see things like that. Okay, they'll even out. It's just like, it's not like they're not speaking the truth, but they just need like that one more lesson of like when to speak and when not to, kind of thing. Then we have Knight of Pentacles. But you, the seasoned veteran, will be going. You might want to stay in the background more. You want to see your pupils do well, and you might not mind staying in the background and letting them shine. It's like you're coming of age, like letting them do their thing now. And this is like a slow and steady process. And you're okay with that. You're okay with taking your time. You viewed time differently now, so it's like, wow, the Knight of Cups with the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like people are like very, like, they get kind of nervous already, like they blush a lot. Like when you come around the corner, it's like you seem very majestic, and like, everything you do, it seems like you're flirting with people. It seems like you're this like knight in shining armor every time like you interact with somebody or come through a neighborhood or something like that. So you have to be aware of that you have this presence, which is why you like to stay more in the background, because it's like, it's like overwhelming, for some people to like, it's like being around a celebrity that they, admired all their life, or, it's very intense, like crush, or I don't know, attention. Like, you're just like, I'm just trying to like walk through this neighborhood without anyone seeing me, and they see you as like, will you marry me? Like, will you come on this journey with me? Like, will you be part of our Justice League? Like, it's very like you drive a lot of people's fantasy kind of thing. So like, you're very aware of that, and you kind of like don't mind staying in the background for that reason. The like oddest messages came up in this reading, but it's kind of like necessary. Like, these were messages that needed to be said and heard. Okay. And last but not least, the last messages from Spirit. Allow this love to unfold perfectly. Yeah, you're very at ease about like just going with the flow, and not like packing your day with events or things that you need to do. Your daily life is pretty easy. You try to live more in the moment. You try not to schedule everything. In fact, things happen better when you have like an unplanned lecture or unplanned lesson or unplanned visit or unplanned, like just kind of go with the flow. At the same time, you're co-creating this with Spirit very perfectly. So you matter to me. My heart is safe with you. So just know that you're a very valuable destiny here, and you're completely safe with the divine. And I feel like the divine is saying they feel safe with you. So that's why they're co-creating with you more, and it seems like you're like the special chosen one, but in reality it's just because you made it safe for the divine to work through you more and with you. All right, I hope you enjoyed that reading, and much love and light.